Welcome, Entrepreneur Nation, to another episode of Entrepreneur Unplugged. I'm your host, Rolando Castro. On today's show, we have the boss himself, Selvin Herrera. He's an entrepreneur and owner of Boss Mortgage. Entrepreneur Nation, please welcome Selvin Herrera.
Hey, what's up, people? Nice to meet everybody. Good to be here, Rolando. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's an honor and pleasure, man. Thank you,
man. Thank you.
So for the Entrepreneur Nation who doesn't know you yet, let them know who you are.
Well, I'm Selvin Herrera. I'm a mortgage broker. I've been doing this for about 12 years now. I love what I do. We're in the business of people. That's how I met you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very blessed to always meet awesome people like yourself that,
likewise,
that we help each other out. And that's what this business is about, is helping each other out and seeing how we could leverage each other.
Awesome.
So I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure, believe me. So you've been in the mortgage business for, you said, 12 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so take us to your humble beginnings in regards to what initiated you to launch a career as a mortgage lender.
Honestly, it's a funny story, just because prior to becoming a mortgage broker, I was a technician for Mercedes-Benz, and had a couple of buddies that jumped into the business that were doing very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very well. And I was like, man, these guys are doing well. I mean, not to put them down or nothing, but I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're no smarter than me, right?
Yeah, I'm like, no smarter than me at all. So I said, wow, if they're doing well there, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to kick their ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. And, I just got tired of the corporate life, got tired of, no disrespect.
Being told what to do, right?
No disrespect to nobody who works for a corporation, because they are good jobs out there, but I just got tired of it. So one day I just saved up enough money and I said, screw you guys, I'm out. So
yeah.
I took a big jump and a big leap of faith and worked my ass off just like I always did, and here I am now. So
awesome. 12 years later, right?
12 years later, man, it was rough, It was rough just like anything else, but I didn't give up. And
so what skills did you learn being a technician? Because it's completely different being a technician, working on cars, working on loans, right?
Yeah.
But what skills can you say you learned by being a technician, whether it's people skills or even working on cars, that you use to help you in your mortgage lending?
I wouldn't say it's totally different. It's actually the same.
Okay.
And the reason is, the only difference is that you don't get dirty doing
Right.
mortgages. But when you're a technician for mechanics, we're working these complicated cars like Mercedes-Benz, you become a problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
Like you figure things out, you get creative, you learn how to put things together, how to take things apart. And the same thing with mortgages. If you don't have that skill on how to package something up, how to create something, or how to make something out of nothing, or how to use the right tools to make the client happy, then you're not going to be good at what you do. So it went hand in hand. So even though it was two different fields, it was almost the same because of that. So I think being a technician made me a good loan officer because of that reason, just because of the problem solving.
Wow.
Definitely.
That's good. Yeah. I would have never even put that into play in regards to the problem solving. Because doing loans is more of you do solve the problems, right? Because there's always some type of issue in regards to maybe the loan not going through, right?
Yeah. Because, a lot of people don't know. They weren't prepared. They were never taught. So they don't know what they had to do or what to prepare. It's the first time buying a house. Sometimes they have credit issues, as you well know, or they don't know, they weren't documenting stuff properly. So you got to coach them and you got to prepare them and you got to tell them, hey, this is what you got to do. If you're not ready now, give them a game plan. Hey, this is your game plan. I know you don't qualify now, but you know what? If you do what I'm telling you to do, it's possible to get you in the house within 3 to 6 months. And a lot of the times they listen to you. A lot of times they don't. But as long as you are able to put a game plan for them, you can make them successful on purchasing a house.
Right, great.
Yeah.
So let's go back to when you first started being a loan officer. You shifted from being a technician at Mercedes-Benz, you said?
Correct.
To being a loan officer. How long did it take you to go into that entrepreneur part of being a loan agent?
How long did it take me? To become successful as a loan officer, it took me about 3 years till I could say, I'm kicking ass.
Okay.
I'm kicking ass.
And did you have your own office then? Or how long did it take you from beginning to were you able to get your own office?
To get my own office, it took me about 7 years to get my own office. Yeah. Yeah, and then, pretty much 7 years.
So how was it in the beginning going from the loan officer mindset? Because you went from being a Mercedes to the loan officer mindset, and then again, to say, you know what, I'm able to be an entrepreneur where I have an overhead, right? Because every entrepreneur has to have an overhead at some point, right?
Right.
How was the transition in regards to running your own show now?
I guess it was almost like when I first started. You know, I tell everybody my story. When I first started, I jumped from Mercedes to a loan officer, and the first year was super rough. You know, I almost didn't make it. My first year, I was down to about $6,000. I was like, shit, what am I gonna do?
Wow, I'm pretty sure you made a lot more in Mercedes.
Definitely.
Wow.
Oh, I had like $6,000 left. I would go home and I would cry, bro. I would cry, and I would like, shit, what am I gonna do? You know, so I just kept on grinding. I didn't give up, and then boom, one hit. One hit got me another 3 months. And then another 3 months coming, I would be down to a little bit of money and then hit another one. And it was like that for about 3 years, you know. And after the 3 years, I took self-development classes. I started learning. I learned how to communicate well with people. I joined, what really changed my life, and I tell everybody, I joined the Academy of Influence. And this
Academy of Influence.
The Academy of Influence. It was a class with Matthew Ferry. Matthew Ferry, that dude changed my life, you know, and he taught me the art of communicating. So once I learned that, completely changed my life. I got better, got along better with the mother of my child, with people at work, with everybody. I just started building massive relationships with everybody that I met. So that took me to another level, man. Income level, my self-being level, all sorts of stuff. So just kept on improving myself, and then after the 7th year, I'm like, damn, I don't need, I mean, not that I don't need nobody else, but I could do this by myself, you know? So I took that challenge and I took it on, and every year it just gets better and better, man. Better and better.
See, you have a portfolio, right, in regards to owning a few properties yourself?
Yeah, I've owned about 13 properties. I currently have about 6 properties, and I just keep on stacking them, you know, leaving to my daughter and help my family out, and that's what it's all about, you know, taking care of your family. So,
what do you learn about yourself in the first 7 years of being a loan officer?
That I'm a badass.
Hey, no, it's okay to say that. Believe me, I was just talking to our previous guests that most people don't think of themselves as a badass. It's not that you're better than somebody.
Oh, not at all.
But in your own skin, you gotta be a freaking badass, because everybody in life goes through crap. Yeah. Whether we like it or not, whether an entrepreneur or not. And if you don't see yourself as a badass, how are you going to overcome those adversities? Yeah, and I don't say to be cocky or nothing, but you have to have that drive. You have to feel that way to be successful. You know, I don't say it to be cockiness or disrespectful or say I'm better than you. Not at all. I just say because you have to feel that way, and you have to wake up with that hunger. You have to be that hungry lion, you know? Yeah, you have to be, of course, especially being an entrepreneur. Yeah, definitely. To be an entrepreneur, you have to have that mindset. Well, I think for you to struggle for 3 years, then decrease your income from Mercedes and own 13 properties, that would not happen if you're not a badass. Right? Would you agree? I would agree. Yeah, it's the hunger. You know, it's the hunger, and also struggling your whole life. You're like, man, you don't want to live the life you lived as you were younger. You know, you see your parents struggle. You're like, that's not going to happen to me. Yeah. Selvin, how important was relationship building in your business? It's all about relationship building. You have to have that skill, and you have to learn how to hone it. You know it's all about it. Right, because you work with realtors, right? That's your niche market. Yes. Working with that's primarily where your business comes from, right? Correct. Realtors, past referrals, gentlemen like you, people at network. That's most of my business. Yeah. So you felt that course about communication really helped elevate your business. What do you feel that you were doing different? And then after you took the class, oh wow, I was doing it all wrong. What did you learn that you said I need to change? Using the proper words. Okay. Using being NLP, they call it being laser focused. So being laser focused, using the correct words, thinking before you speak, and also paying attention, man. You got to pay attention to people, and you got to let people speak. Yeah, and most people they wait until you finish to speak and don't really listen, right? Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, and one thing I learned, you gotta honor people. You gotta honor what they say. Yeah. So if somebody is talking, give them that time to speak their opinion, definitely speak their mind, and then you voice your opinion, but after they finish, right?
And don't get me wrong, sometimes you gotta cut people off.
Of course,
That's just the way it is, you know. But for the most part, yeah, you gotta honor what they say, but at the same time, you gotta know when to say, hey, this is what it is, you know.
Great.
So definitely.
So 7 years into your career as a loan officer, you see, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. I want to open my own shop. I want to become my own lender. Talk about your struggles in the beginning, or was it just straight success right after you opened up your own shop?
Well, you know, I was being very successful already. That's why I jumped into my own shop, my own office. So yeah, I kind of luckily flew right through.
You think it was just the mindset of just, you know what, I believe in me. I'm a badass. I could definitely make this happen.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna fail. Yeah. I'm not gonna fail. So throughout my whole life, I always said I always told my mom since I was a little kid, hey mom, I'm gonna be a millionaire. And you know, Latinos are a little bit different. They're like, yeah, right. You know, it's just they're like, está loco. But you know, but it's just a different mindset, you know. So I always told my mom, I'm gonna be a millionaire, mom. And she's like, she wasn't putting me down in no way. It's just the way they were brought up and the way they communicate was different than what we do now. Right,
because our parents, you know, we come from immigrant parents.
Yeah.
They come here and they come here just to work and make a better living, right? Just if they're getting by, it's great. If they're eating every day and they have a roof over there, that's great for them.
Yeah.
But for us, it's, you know, we want more, and I feel that we owe it to our parents because they came here to give us a better life.
Definitely.
I think we owe it to them to be as best as we could be, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's all the work I do is all for my family, for my daughter, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, but it's for them. You know, so that's who I work for. That's what makes me feel good. That's what makes me feel successful.
Even now, right?
Yeah, even now that I know that they could count on me for whatever, you know. So to me, that's my definition of success, you know, in my mind. So
well, thank you for pointing that out, because most people don't even know what success is. And the sad part about success is that most people define it by material things, the car you drive, the house you have, and really leave out the family part as to that being part of success. I know for me, if my wife, my kids, my family are proud of me, to me that's success.
Right.
Because I'm able to perform at a high level. And if I perform at a high level, then I'm producing at a high level. And what's that going to bring? Outstanding results. And what's that going to produce? Higher income.
That's right.
So I think for me and for you, of course, it starts with our family.
Definitely.
Right. So I feel that we come from the same backgrounds, upbringings.
That's why we get along, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you're here, because I know that you have had your struggles. We come from a background where there's no entrepreneurship. Nobody in my family is an entrepreneur. I consider myself the first one, but I don't even know if I even meet the quote unquote entrepreneur. But for me, there wasn't really somebody that I looked up to say, you know what, I want to be like them. It was more outside of my family that I was inspired to follow the entrepreneurship. Right. I don't know if that was the case for you.
Yeah, same reason. You know, I always seen people doing better, and I would try to meet them, try to be like them. You know, it's like I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna catch up to you, and I'm gonna try to be better than you. Not because I'm disrespectful in any way. It's just because
it's your competitiveness.
Yeah.
I think Mark Cuban has a great quote, and the way he operates his business is that be in business knowing there's somebody out there trying to outwork you.
Right.
Not you physically, but the same line of work that you do. Somebody's out there staying up later than you, waking up earlier than you. And if you know that that's the reality, you operate at a higher level. Because no matter how successful you are, success is not something you reach. It's something that you have to sustain, right? Continued success. Because you might hit the highs and then you stop being cruise control. I'm great, I made it.
Yeah.
And then you got somebody out there that's working harder than you, and then what happens? Business goes slow.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I tell everybody, you know, and tell my story. I'm like, man, I worked from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for about 9 years. No joke. I'll wake up in the morning, take my ass to work, nonstop, come home at 9. You know, sacrificed a lot. So, and now that I'm built, I don't do that anymore. You know, now I work from 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 9 to 7. But I do my best to take the
Well, you have a
book
of business. Yeah. You're able to build a reputation of who you are, Boss Mortgage, Selvin Herrera, and you work off referrals, like you said, communication. So in the beginning, you have to put in there. You have to kick ass, and you have to sweat, and you know sometimes we still do, right? But you reap the rewards after so many years. You know, now you're always at Laker games, enjoying the good life, right?
Yeah, traveling. You know, we got to do it.
No, I mean, talk about traveling. Let's talk about that subject, right? Because you went to China twice, and you actually want to get into the import-export business. It's just your drive to become a better entrepreneur, right?
Yes, that business is
Not so much for you,
it's
right?
not so
For
much
your
for me.
daughter.
It's for my daughter, and I'm trying to motivate my brother as well to get into something because I want him to be successful. I want him to kick my ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be the only one in my family ever to be successful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I want to share that dream with everybody else just because they didn't do that to me. I was fortunate enough to be blessed with that gift to want more. You
It's
know,
called ambition.
yeah, with ambition. Yes.
Yeah.
So I know if somebody would have boosted me up, I would have been in maybe
10
that
times better.
1%
Yeah.
income bracket or population, you know. So I'm hoping that by me sharing this with my family and my brother, my sister, my daughter, that I'll give them that boost.
How old is
you
your
know?
daughter?
My daughter, she's 16 years old.
16 years
She's gonna
old,
be
and she's
17 Christmas Day.
oh wow, so she's
yeah,
quite the present.
yeah, best present ever,
Nice.
man.
Let me ask you a question: does she get 2 presents, or does she only get 1? Because you gotta
She-
give her 2.
Man, she gets presents every day, bro. So yeah, she gets a whole bunch of them, definitely. Yeah.
So how was China? I know you were in China there learning the import export with your daughter, right?
Yeah, I took her down. The first time I went, I was being a looky-loo because I have a friend that's very successful doing that. So it was looky-loo, and then when I went down there, I'm like, shit, there's
Different culture.
no different culture, but not only that, but the amount there's so much stuff you could do there. There's so
Mhm.
much opportunity that when I saw it, I was shocked. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, I didn't even know what to make of it.
Mhm.
It almost took me leaving to register or download what I just seen.
Mm.
Yeah, you just go down there and just blows your mind. That it takes a while for you to put your mind back
To
together.
process everything.
Yeah, because I wasn't even ready for it. Wasn't
Mhm.
ready for it at all. So once I came down, I processed it. I did some research. I said, shit, I could get my daughter to do this,
Mhm.
Get her. She likes fashion. She likes clothes. So I said, man, they give away stuff over there pretty
Yeah.
much. You just got to find the right niche. So we started talking about it to her, and I told her, hey man, we're gonna go down there, check it out. So we went down there for 10 days, blew her mind as well. She's all excited. So we're going on a little practice run. We bought about 5,000 purses, and we chose our own just to give it a little test run, see what comes out of it. I think it's going to be great. But it's
You have to believe that. But
oh, yeah.
but more than that, it's the beauty that you're introducing entrepreneurship to your daughter.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that must be a blessing itself.
man. You have no idea. It's
I
freaking
mean, she'll
awesome,
thank you.
man.
Yeah, she'll thank you one day for that.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I have 2 little boys, and 6 and 3, and I want to introduce entrepreneurship as early as possible. My son kind of gets the idea, about what I do and what I'm doing now. He actually wants to be on my show
Nice.
because it'll be good just to kind of see, what his mindset is at 6 years old, so he can watch it later on when he's older, right? But
Yeah.
I want to introduce entrepreneurship to them. I tell them it's not easy what Daddy does and what anybody else does, but if you're gonna go through pain, might as well be going through pain for your own dream, not for somebody else's dream. So I do applaud you for exposing that to your daughter, because one day she's gonna benefit from it. You're gonna be one proud papa.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and I hope she could do the same thing for her future family.
It starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You got to break that cycle.
so it's about breaking the cycle, right? It's about being that one person where your great grandkids
Yeah.
will say it all started because of my great grandpa
Yeah.
Selvin, right?
Yeah. You're gonna be gone, but you're still gonna be there. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing to think that you could do that.
Mhm.
So definitely that inspires me to work
Yeah.
even harder. Definitely.
Great. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.
Let's go into your current, one of the many businesses you have, which is Boss Mortgage. Because I went to your office maybe about a month ago, and I walked in there, and you had a full team. I mean, that office was literally operating at its highest potential. But take us into being the leader of that unit in regards to leading them to success.
Right.
How do you develop a great team like that?
It was tough, man. It was tough, and I learned it from seeing other successful people. I seen other people making millions with just 4 or 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm like, shit, they're doing it.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
Yeah.
So the people I work with, my team, I've known them for a very long time.
Mhm.
So not only are we co-workers, we're like family.
Yeah.
So we go to work and it's like we're not even at work.
Mm.
It's fun. We
Mhm.
go and crack jokes, we mess around, we have lunch together. It's a beautiful thing, and we're making money. It's
Yeah,
like, shit,
that's-
what else do you
God,
want?
it's
You
like-
know what I mean? Yeah, so that took forever to build, but I'm finally there, and then having a team with it's all about synergy. It's having that synergy in the office that it creates power and it creates success. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I've only had my strong. This is my. I think we're going on a year and a half to have a team like this, and we just keep on getting better.
Yeah,
and
when I went
better.
to your office, the energy was just incredible. Before what I would go, it would just kind of be you and your maybe
it was me and my assistant.
Your
it was,
assistant,
it was a two-man gang, you know.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it's a nice office, but when I went this last time, was just like, wow, I was impressed, and the energy was just incredible.
Yeah, it's all about the energy.
To build. Yeah,
oh, definitely, yes.
What advice can you give someone that maybe feels that they're in a dead end job? They hate their job, but maybe they feel that they could contribute more to this world, even make a difference, maybe for their daughter, maybe for their family. That, you know what, I could provide more. What advice would you give that person?
That's a very good question. What advice could you give? Just be more positive. Be more positive. When you're trying to come up, people are always trying to drag you back down. You know, it's funny how that works. You try to come up, they kick you down. So don't let nobody kick you down, and if they do, then stand back up. Stand back up and go at it harder. Educate yourself. Whether it be reading, whether it be videos, whether it be whatever you like, and just keep on going. Don't give up. It's we all have struggles. Don't be a person that makes excuses about everything. Oh, it's because of this. And that's why I didn't do that. I can't stand excuses, So try to eliminate excuses from your vocabulary, just
excuses should be reasons, right?
Excuses should be reasons. What do you mean?
Like if somebody has, if an excuse, instead of saying, well, I can't because I don't have support. Well, that should be a reason why.
Exactly.
I grew up in a broken home. Well, that should be a reason why.
Exactly.
I hate my job. Well, that should be a reason why you should pursue something else, right? That's what I mean, that your excuses should be your reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I know that makes sense, but I think in my head it does, right? But
no, it does.
Entrepreneur Nation, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense now. I didn't catch what you were saying, but definitely I agree 100% with you, man. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Looking back at your entire career, even at Mercedes and where you're headed, because I know you're destined for bigger things, especially with your daughter. What's the biggest lesson you've learned?
The biggest lesson I've learned. And, there's so many of them. There's so many lessons, but I guess just paying attention. That's just paying attention and being focused. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I learned. Because if you do have those two things, then you could do so many things with them. Mm-hmm. So it just could branch out to multiple things. So paying attention, just being focused, I think was one of the biggest lessons. Really paying attention, not just pretending.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's great. That's good. That's because I feel that being laser focused on your goal, it's extremely important. I know Warren Buffett has a system that he puts in play. He says that write down your top 10 priorities and only keep the first 3. Because those have to be your top 3 goals. And that's something that I learned for myself, is that sometimes you want to do too much because you want to accomplish so much, and you feel that you have to do all these things. But in reality, we have to focus on 1 or 2 or 3 things at a time, because those 2 or 3 activities, it was going to help you become more successful, take it to the next level. And I know for me, it was being focused was something that I would lose focus. I would get distracted by the shiny objects into what's next. What can I learn next? Know what I mean?
Right, definitely.
Yeah. Who has been a mentor to you that you can say, this person really helped me influence my business?
In my business now, well, I've had a couple in my current business. In my mortgage business, it was one was my coach or my teacher. His name was Louis Gorney. He was ex-sheriff, and he was he taught me how to be legit in the business, because you know.
What does that mean, be legit? If you could maybe define that to Entrepreneur Nation.
Well, when I first started this business, it was the wild, wild west, man.
Yeah,
it was cowboys and Indians. You know what I mean? It was insane. So this man, being a ex-sheriff, he would be like, he was a dick, but I love the man, just because he would cuss at me. He was a training officer, so you know how they treat those guys, know. Yeah. So I was like, it was rough, man. But he goes, hey, he taught me. I know how to fill out loans with a pencil. You know what I'm saying? I know how to calculate everything. So he taught me how to be 100. Don't BS nobody. Tell her how it is. So I'm that type of person. I always tell people, I'd rather piss you off because I told you the truth than make you happy because I told you a lie. You know what I mean? So he taught me that, and Some people don't like it, but you know what? I don't care. You know, that's just the way it is. I like to be like that. You know, I don't like to sugarcoat nothing. You know, I'm gonna be nice to you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just BS you. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of my first mentors, and you know, and in the beginning of the business, you know, it was crazy. You know, people were doing some stuff they weren't supposed to do. A lot of them end up in jail. And he told me they were too. He's like, oh, this guy, and sure enough, I'm starting.
So he kind of kept you on.
Because when you start and you're learning from people that are doing bad things, you don't know they're doing bad things. You think it's normal because you just started. You know what I mean? And he was like, he was like, no, you're not even gonna talk to this guy. And so he would like punk me. You know what I mean? So, but I say, you know what? I want to learn, and this is for the long run. You know, this is not, you know, make a couple of bucks and then I'm out. You know, so. So he was my first mentor, and he's the one that actually put me on the right track, and because of him, you know, I fly straight, you know, and I always keep it that way, just because that's the only way to be successful.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to, you know, have a mentor or be mentored by someone that can guide them in the right direction, right? Like they did with you, right?
Yeah. So he was my first one, and then my second one I met a little bit further down in my career. His name was Ramon Quesada. Awesome man. He's excellent family man. His thing was on lockdown. Good family, good kids, good home, good wife. And I'm like, shit, you know, this guy's
how do you do it?
Yeah, and he was making some major dough, all 100%. You know, so I'm like, man, you know, I was modeling him. You know, yeah. This man, he just retired like at 55, 60 with about 30 mil in the bank. He rolled out to.
What do you feel was his definition of success? I mean, having it all. I mean, what was it? If you ever found that out from him?
Well, from what I noticed, I never really asked him that, but what I think is his family. He has a beautiful family. So I think that was success, you know, because the energy this family has was awesome. I always admired that. I was like, man, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you know, and giving him whatever he wants, you know what I mean? Course, and he earned it, you know? So he earned it.
Success is definitely earned.
Definitely.
So you're a big reader, right?
Well, I'm more audiobook. Ever since you turned me, audiobook.
I turned into audiobook.
You turned me on to that.
No idea.
You did. I told me, I know you're a book reader, and then you're like, yeah, audiobook. So yeah. So
okay, cool. What's the last book you've listened to then?
I'm listening to Zig Ziglar right now. I forgot the name of the title right now, and that's what I'm listening to right now.
Okay, great. Yeah. But you also have like a book club at your office, right?
Yeah, right now we put a pause to it right now. But yes, we had a book club. We were reading Think and Grow Rich. I think it was can't even remember the name of the book right now just because we're on camera, but we read a couple of books and it's motivating. I want to start it again, but.
So looking back at all the books you read, what's your favorite book? You see, like this is a reread for me.
You know what? I like the one I'm doing right now, the Zig Ziglar one. He's awesome. I actually never listened to him before. I've heard so much about him, but a favorite book, I don't know. I don't think I think this one right now. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You highly recommend it. Yeah. We'll get the name.
What was that?
We'll get the name later.
Okay, all right.
So, Selvin, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. We're getting very close to the end of our show, and I have 3 questions to ask you. This is what we call the unplug round.
Okay.
Right? You can't hold anything back.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could talk to a 20-year-old self again, what advice would you give them?
Man, that's a very tough question, man. Because you know the. I don't know, man.
You don't know? Well, at 20 years old, in what stage were you at 20 years old?
Man, I was a mechanic for Mercedes-Benz.
So looking at where you are now, you know, living a happier, richer life, what advice would you give that a 20-year-old Selvin in regards to maybe that would have helped you accelerate where you are now? Or maybe would have helped you become a better Selvin now based on the decisions you made when you were 20?
You know what? I don't know, because going through that made me a better Selvin.
That's true.
So that's a very tough question for me to answer, just because if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't be where I am. You know, I was very successful at Mercedes, so
that's a good answer. I mean, maybe there isn't any advice because of who you were made you who you are now.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Goes on to my next question.
Okay.
What are you most grateful for?
My family. mean, we have a small family, but I'm grateful for them just because if it wasn't for them too, I wouldn't be here. Yeah.
Your daughter?
Definitely. Oh my
Great.
God, of course. Yes, definitely.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Last question. How do you define Selvin Herrera?
How do I define myself? A hardworking man. No BS. Tells how it is. And just love people, love life, and a great person, man.
Great.
Yeah.
I define Selvin Herrera as being a badass entrepreneur. Selvin, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, brother.
It's a
Thank you for
pleasure.
having me. Definitely.
And like I always say, if our interview here can help one person, can motivate one person to become an entrepreneur, then this was a success. Remember, Entrepreneur Nation, success is a choice. On to the next one. Thank you.